Good morning, guys. I hope you're all doing well today. Coming at you with day 8 of becoming until I'm a YouTube millionaire, right? The thoughts that are going through my head right now are with respect to YouTube and its algorithm. I mean, generally speaking, that's what's going through my head most of the time because it's my main pursuit monetarily right now, if you will, other than perhaps my books. So yeah, I was thinking, economically, it makes perfect sense for YouTube to bias their algorithm towards larger channels because they make more money off of those larger channels. There's a higher click-through rate, there's social proof, all this fun stuff, what have you. And that the little channels really don't have an opportunity to grow. You have to bust your ass to break through. I mean, there's a channel that I have up on my television right now that's only about, I want to say like 3, maybe 4 years old, but it just so happened to strike the algorithm perfectly. It's called Tasting History. I like it. It's got Max Miller in it. He's entertaining, a likable guy. But nevertheless, it just seemed to get heated by the algorithm, which is a known thing. They even talk about it. They heat certain channels. Here's another one. Real Civil Engineer. Brand spanking new channel. Well, not brand spanking new. It's been around about the same amount of time, maybe 3-4 years. But went from 50,000 to 2.5 million subscribers in about 18 months. Right, because YouTube heated the channel. And then once they get those channels to a certain size, it's pretty much totally set that they're going to get at least 10% of their subscription base as consistent video viewers. 2 million subscribers means that you're going to have at least 200,000 views per video that you post. So they have a doorway to, as long as they keep their consistency going, they don't bamboozle their fans, they have a doorway to a consistent form of income that's going to last forever, or as long as their channel does. For the brand new channels, or the channels that are tiny, like the ones on which I work, this one and the slot channel, etc., YouTube has no qualms with shutting down your views. And unless you are really loud about it, they're not going to fix it, So it makes sense. They're not going to pay attention to you because there's not very much money in you. There's a ton of money in a channel like Tasting History or Real Civil Engineer because they built those channels as their heated channels. Look, if that's something they want to do, there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. I'm talking about YouTube. There's not necessarily anything wrong with that, but what there is something wrong with is suppressing channels for no particular reason. YouTube is supposed to be a platform, not a publisher. And they claim to be a platform, but if they are going to, suppress certain channels or what have you for, say no reason, but it's actually for reasons that we don't know of, then that's messed up. So that channel, right, that's got 23,000 subs that I work on should be getting, we're not changing the content to any significant degree, should be getting between 2,000 to 5,000 views per long form video, but it's not. And there's lots of channels that this is happening to. And I said this in a previous video, but it bears repeating. I think it's because they introduced short form videos, which screwed up their algorithm. And it's because they were trying to go away from subscribers having much of an impact, which is ridiculous. I mean, they should have lots of impact. I mean, you're taking away the power of the viewer, right? And this is supposed to be YouTube. You're the one that designs the platform as the watcher. and the creator of the content if you so desire. So subscribers should matter, right? I know that part of the reason they did this was because there were a lot of scammers that were screwing with them. I get it. I get it. I've dealt with it myself so much. I get it. But that doesn't mean you take away the importance of subscriptions. No, it's supposed to be important. It's supposed to matter, right? Because that is the very foundation of your platform, if you're going to call it a platform, as opposed to a publisher. It's a long-form town square, just as X is the short-form town square, if you will. So whatever they did in the background, because of the scammers, don't fault all the regular people who are just trying to make a way in life by screwing them over in this way. Instead, find a way to get rid of the scammers or get them to pay for what they did, rather than people who are actually working hard to try to make a living. And there's a view-pocalypse, if you will, on YouTube right now. A lot of channels don't know about it because they're saved from that aspect, right? I talked about some of them that are not, like Gary V. He just seems to have let it be, though. I'm guessing because he has a lot of other sources of income, so he doesn't really talk about it, but I've seen his videos. I've seen the views he used to get and the views he gets now. Something is messed up. And YouTube they didn't try to correct it properly. And it's not just an opinion of mine at this point. It's pretty objective. If they're making people who are busting their butts trying to succeed, this guy right here, I am working my ass off. If they're making them pay for things that scammers are doing, then they're almost as bad as the scammers. Come on. You're disincentivizing hard work. That's a very dangerous position to be in. And if there could even be scammers in your own institution, I think we all are pretty aware of that now, that are putting their fingers on the scale and making it even more difficult for people like me to succeed, because they want to steal what I'm trying to build rather than build themselves, because they don't think they can do it, I guess. I don't know. Could be any number of things. But I want to succeed. If you guys knew the stuff that I do on a day-to-day basis, I am just going and going and going and going. And I can't seem to break through, right? Tying into the video that I made yesterday, about how if it seems like the whole world is against you and you're doing everything right to succeed and you're still not succeeding, it's because there are principalities that are working against you. And I do believe that around 2016, 2017, the scammers having exploded right onto the scene, I think it was because there was a particularly industrious individual that was a scammer, that built a scamming empire, if you will, who was possessed by an idea from a negative force, who basically saw chaos and destruction as and only caring about himself as the only things that mattered. And there could even be, disparate people, a diaspora, if you will, that does this. But it only takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 industrious individuals that are nefarious to screw up the whole system. Because remember, it's much easier to destroy than it is to build. It's much easier to steal than it is to actually work to make your living. And I, along with a lot of other people, are paying for it. And that's not right. It's not. How long can you keep it going? If the one thing that's necessary for this system to work is gratitude, you have to be grateful for the work that somebody's putting in. And the way you show gratitude is you're paying them. I'm not making any money. So it can't last. Either the system's going to break and all that stuff, or you're going to stop the enemies from doing what they're doing. Scammers being the proxy in this case. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I'm a little bit disjointed in my thoughts. I apologize. Haven't had all of my caffeine this morning. But, yeah. Day 8. I'll see y'all for day 9 tomorrow. Love y'all. Peace.